Long ago, in a powerful kingdom, a king ruled with wisdom and strength. But despite his great power, he had a dilemma. His only daughter refused to marry. "I will not marry just any man," she declared. "He must be strong, but more importantly, he must be wise." The king, loving his daughter dearly, agreed to her request. He summoned his royal messengers, who rode to the farthest lands, announcing a great challenge. "He who can complete 3 impossible tasks shall win the hand of the princess and half the kingdom's riches." Mighty warriors, brilliant scholars, and even great hunters from distant lands came to try, but one by one, they all failed. Then, just as the king was about to end the contest, a small voice spoke from the back of the crowd. "I will take your challenge, my king." The people turned and gasped. It was Tortoise, the smallest and slowest creature in the land. The crowd erupted in laughter. "A maid tortoise? What chance does he have?" But the king, being a fair ruler, allowed Tortoise to compete. THA first challenge, the River of Fire. The king pointed toward a raging river. Its waters boiled, steaming like a pot over a great fire. "You must cross this river," the king declared, "without swimming, without a boat, and without burning." The warriors had tried before, but all had failed. The people whispered, "Sure that Tortoise would give up?" Tortoise rubbed his chin. A river that burns. If fire and water mix, then one must defeat the other." He disappeared into the forest for an hour. When he returned, he carried a large calabash filled with water. Slowly, he poured water onto the river, cooling a thin path just wide enough for him to step on. Step by step, he walked across the cooled water until he reached the other side, completely unharmed. The crowd gasped in shock. "The tortoise has crossed the River of Fire," the town crier shouted. The second challenge, the talking drum. The king clapped his hands, and the royal guard brought forth a magnificent drum, carved from the sacred Iroko tree. To pass this challenge, the king said, "You must make this drum speak like a man." The crowd murmured, "This is truly impossible." Tortoise studied the drum. Then, he asked for a moment to think. After some time, he took a deep breath and whispered a secret into the drum. Then, he lifted the drum high above his head and threw it to the ground. Boom! The drum let out a deep sound, and to everyone's shock, it seemed to say, "I have spoken." The people gasped. "He has done it again!" a villager exclaimed. But the king narrowed his eyes. He was impressed, but not convinced yet. The third challenge, the king's secret. The king stroked his beard. "For the final challenge, you must tell me my greatest secret, something no one in this kingdom knows." The crowd murmured. How could Tortoise know such a thing? Even the wisest elders had no idea what the king's greatest secret was. Tortoise bowed respectfully and said, "Your Majesty, may I whisper my answer into your ear? I do not wish to embarrass you before your people." The king hesitated, then nodded. Tortoise leaned close and whispered, "When you were a boy, you stole a golden yam from your father's farm." The king's eyes widened in shock. How could Tortoise know such a thing? Tortoise continued, "I did not need to know the truth, only to make you believe I did." The king suddenly laughed, a deep, rumbling laugh. He clapped his hands. "You are truly wise, Tortoise," he said. "Strength can be defeated, but intelligence always wins." The crowd erupted in cheers. The hidden fourth challenge, plot twist. But just as Tortoise was about to claim his prize, a jealous warrior named Algun stood up. "This is unfair. A tortoise should not marry the princess," he shouted. "Give him one more challenge." The king, though fair, wanted to see if Tortoise's luck would run out. "Tortoise," the king said, "you must do one last thing. If you can steal my crown from my head without anyone seeing, then you shall be the winner." The crowd gasped. Stealing from the king? That was madness. But Tortoise simply smiled. "Agreed, my king." That night, while everyone slept, Tortoise climbed a tree outside the palace and began to sing in a soft, enchanting voice. "Oh, great king, sleep deep. Let your worries fade, let your crown feel light." The king, hearing the beautiful song, slowly nodded off into a deep sleep. Silently, Tortoise crawled into the palace, lifted the golden crown off the king's head, and placed a simple wooden bowl in its place. By morning, the crowd gathered, expecting to see Tortoise fail. But when the king reached for his crown, it was gone. The crowd gasped. Tortoise, standing before the king, bowed and presented the crown. "Your Majesty, your crown was never truly yours. It belongs to the one who is wisest." The king laughed louder than ever before. "Tortoise, you are indeed the wisest of all. You shall marry the princess and be rewarded with great wealth." And so, against all odds, Tortoise won not just a princess, but the admiration of the entire kingdom. Moral of the story: wisdom, patience, and intelligence will always outshine brute strength. Thank you for watching this incredible African folktale. If you enjoyed the story and its lesson on wisdom, patience, and intelligence, please give this video a like, share it with your friends and family, and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to Folktales and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an exciting new story. Your support helps keep the tradition of storytelling alive. See you in the next tale.